Yeah, just haven't had.
Oh yeah. So there was some of them.
Just finished
Oh,
up.
why? I don't know who
Almost halfway done.
But you know, like they told me they have friends. Yeah.
Welcome and thank you for coming to Drama Club's first 24-hour play festival. For those of you who do not know me, I am Jo Hoagland. I am the president of Drama Club. And before our show, I wanted to share a little bit about the process and special moments to look for in each show. Everything you will see tonight is student-written, directed, acted, and produced within the last 24 hours. Yesterday after school was our kickoff meeting, and the writers stayed until about 9:30 at the school, and they finished writing until about 6 a.m. They all had a prop they have to use and a line of dialogue that you will see in each show. The prop is the tennis racket, right there. But the catch is it cannot be used as a tennis racket. So you'll be seeing that this is clearly going to be used in an interesting way in this show. And the line is, "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it." And that line will be said in every show, so keep your ears listening for that one. This morning, the directors came at 8 a.m. and met with the writers. They got their randomly assigned cast, started rehearsing, met with the crew, worked on tech for each show, had a quick run through, and now you're here to see the final product. Please enjoy our first ever 24-hour play festival. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Oh, son of a... Hey, come on in, you're the first one here. Sorry about the mess, I had a little trouble with the cheese.
I can see that. Here, I'll help you with this.
Well, thank you.
This is a very interesting serving tray.
Oh, do you like it? It was a gift from my mother for President's Day. She got it for me when she realized I started my monthly subscription with the Gourmet Cheese of the Month Club. She got it from an antique shop, I believe.
Interesting. Well, it's unlike any cheese platter I've ever seen. So.
Oh, yes, please sit down. Make yourself comfortable.
Hey, thanks.
So, how do you feel about cheese in this current political climate? Oh, come in, the door is wide open.
Hi, hope we didn't make anyone wait. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
The traffic was just terrible.
I'm just glad we were all able to make it. I know it's nobody's dream to work in an office park and have a terrible boss, but at least we're all suffering together, right?
Yes.
It was a great idea you had to set up a game night.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, we're all brand new employees. I thought it'd be a good idea to get to know each other better.
Yeah, what are we waiting for? Let's get started.
So what are we doing first?
I thought we would start with the very classic, very well-known Monopoly.
Ooh, good choice.
Well, I see, getting us hooked on the first one, so we'd have to schedule more game nights.
Oh, you've foiled my brilliant plan. All right, well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Oh, I'll be the banker.
Right? Well, Mr. Baker, I believe it's your turn first.
Oh, well, don't mind if I do. But I do feel bad because, you know, my Monopoly skills are just so good. Maybe you guys should all have a turn before me.
Oh, cut with the crap, dude. Just play.
All right. A 1, a 2, a 3. Oh, no.
Jill, on your first roll. Well, I
I guess those weren't the mad playing skills you were referring to, huh?
I can't believe it. What a terrible first roll. Though, to be fair...
with the excuses. Get in there.
I mean, if you want, you could pay the $50 and get out.
True. Wait, guys, can you imagine if Rio bail was only costing like $50? Everybody would be like paying their bails and then just roaming free.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Although, Monopoly jail is a lot easier to live in than actual jail.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you would know.
Oh, but you have no idea. It's like being trapped back in like high school or something.
Oh, so you've been to jail a few times is what I
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, it was quite the character.
Hold up, okay. Are you trying to tell us that you actually know what jail is like?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I very well may have if I had been caught.
Okay, story time. What happened?
We don't need to talk about that.
Oh, yes, we do. You brought it up. You have to tell us.
Okay. It's not that bad. Actually, it's kind of harmless. Okay, anyways. So, I was interviewing for this job that I was really nervous for. I mean, I'd spent weeks perfecting my resume. It was my lifelong dream to work as the front desk assistant at the local retirement home. I made sure I did everything right. I mean, I smiled, I nodded, I made eye contact, and then everything else I did was wrong. I was so nervous that all I could do was smile, nod, and make eye contact. So, after I hadn't talked for 10 minutes, the manager looks at me like she owns the place, and she goes, "I'm sorry, we just don't think you're right for this job. Have a good day." Have a good day? Are you kidding me? She could have kicked me and it would have felt better. So, I left the building without saying anything, and then it wasn't until I got to the parking lot when my rage really took over. I remembered who I was, and no one was going to tell me different. Yeah, I'd show her. So the next day I come back to the parking lot, and I find that cute little stupid red Volvo she drives, and I take a can of yellow spray paint to the windshield.
Oh, no way.
You did not.
I did, and I really enjoyed it. But then that's where everything went wrong. Yeah, so I was finishing up the last of the spray paint, and I hear footsteps, so I go and I duck behind some nearby bushes, and then I realized I really messed up. It wasn't her car.
What? So some innocent bystander got ruined by your rage?
Yeah, I didn't stick around long after that. I ran.
Oh, hit and run. Jeez, that's really bad. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to pay my $50 and get out of jail.
Wow, that desperate? It's pretty early in the game. Okay, I mean, I understand running away, but for someone who's had their car vandalized, I can't sympathize.
You had your car vandalized?
Yeah, it happened a few years back. I was visiting my grandma one day, and I had been there for a while because she was suffering from a really very bad head cold. Anyways, I went outside to go home, and some goof had painted this weird saying all over my windshield.
Good place to write an important message. What did it say?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was very specific. Something like, "Have a good day."
Good day.
Yes, exactly. Wait.
You vandalized his car. Oh, that is too good.
Word?
Do you have any idea what it took to get that paint out? Oh, and you have no idea. I was so distraught that during my drive home, I hit somebody, and that was just the cherry on top of the cake.
You hit somebody?
Well, sort of, kind of, I mean, I didn't stop to look back, and they were in the way, and I was so mad. So I punched the gear into reverse and tried to hit them a second time. Fully expressed my frustration. Fortunately, I missed, but I knew I'd be in big trouble, so I left the city that very same night. Went on the run. It's kind of a blast, actually.
No, not okay, man. What the hell were you thinking?
I don't know. Why does it matter? It was years ago.
Doesn't is undoable, not to mention the lasting physical harm it could cause.
Well, what do you know about it? And what right do you have to judge me for what I did?
Well, I will let you know that I would have been able to pursue a career in modern dance had my entire right leg not been shattered from a hit.
Yeah, well, I don't see you limping around.
Well, I would like to inform you that the doctor told me that the vehicle hit a very specific nerve which specifically perpetuates the dance moves in the leg. And I would have been able to walk and skip and run and everything for a time, but by so much as to tap my toes rhythmically, I could risk a permanent paralyzation in my entire right leg. So that was the end of my dance dream.
I have never heard anything like that. Is that even possible?
It is. It's extremely rare, and it must be triggered by only the most intense physical sufferings, from which I did endure a lot of. And it really didn't help that that guy who hit me with his car, he came back and tried to hit me a second time!
Well,
I don't believe this! You intentionally tried to hit me with your car!
Well, how was I supposed to know? I didn't even know you back then.
Oh, so that excuses everything? No! So what, now that you know me, you instantly regret that you have terribly alarming issues with your road rage?
Well, I had bigger things to worry about. I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? For ruining my destiny because you had bigger things to worry about? I don't care about your windshield or your stupid grandma!
Don't you talk about my grandma like that.
Well, I do not have any respect for you whatsoever. So yes, I will. Do you know what I did after I was run over? I was so desperate for money and work, I stooped to the lowest of the lows. You did not!
You mean to say that you were once
An illegal pawn shop owner? Yes, I was. And it's okay, you can say it.
No way. When did you do that?
Right before I got this horrible office job. It was such a shame, too. We made so much dough with all the garbage we sold.
I can't believe you gypped people for their money. That is unacceptable.
Oh, lighten up. It was harmless. You know, as long as the people believe that what they're buying is worth something, they'll spend money on it. And it's so easy to get them to do it, too, because you just gotta tell some BS story and then just throw in some words like rare or exotic.
That is just pure evil. What was the worst thing you ever sold someone?
Oh, good question. Well, let's see. Oh, I know. I'll never forget this because it was one of the last things I ever sold before we were forced to shut down. So, this kookabin old lady came to our store one day, and this weird bat we have hanging in the back of the wall, she became incredibly interested in it. And, you know, I had completely forgotten about that old bat because, you know, there's literally nothing special about it. But anyways, she brought it to the counter and started asking me all these questions like what it was or where it was from. And, you know, that day I was extremely tired, and I did not have the creativity to find and pull out another made-up wild story out of my ass. And so, you know, I told this lady, oh, why yes, I believe that would be our last exotic cheese platter we have in our stock.
Wait, what?
Oh, and that's not even the best part. You see, after that she told me, oh, well, that's such a coincidence. My son recently just had this subscription from this club, I believe it's called the Gourmet Cheese of the Month. And then she told me, I'll take that platter for $4,000.
Uh-huh. And what does this old bat platter look like?
Well, you know, I don't really remember, but it was probably like a fly swatter-esque, you know, long protruding handle.
Does it look a little something like this?
Actually, yes, it looks very similar to... Wait a minute.
My mother is not a kook, and I'm having a lot of difficulty being kind with you at this current moment.
I didn't mean to.
Didn't mean to what? Scam my mother? You want to know what the most selfish thing is that my mother has ever done? She plays bridge with her friends on Wednesday afternoons for 1 hour. Oh yeah, she's a good lady. And you want to know what she does when people come to her and try to say her problems? She tells them calmly and patiently, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, she's selfless and she's funny. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, and you better feel bad. Because if my mom would have had that money, she would have been able to buy that new deck of vintage playing cards for her friends. And you know what I had to do? I had to go out to a retirement home and rob it just so I could get the money.
You're the one to talk about selflessness. You robbed a retirement home. I mean, that's a felony charge.
Oh, well, you're one to talk about felony. Are we just gonna completely disregard the fact that you confessed to spray painting my
Oh,
windshield?
at least it was a nice message.
Oh, I'll make sure they lock you up.
Oh, are you now? So now you're just going to break your nasty streak and be a hero? I don't think so, buddy. The only person in this room that's going to be locked up is you!
Oh yeah, enjoy your momentary satisfaction, sister, because I'm going to find every person that you sold anything to, and I'm going to take you down in court. Nobody scams my mother and gets away with it.
You robbed a retirement home.
Well, we certainly could talk in circles all day if we wanted.
Instead of deciding who did the worst thing, we should all realize that we're all guilty of something.
And it's by some insane cosmic fate that we all ended up at the same terrible job. And we even became friends without realizing it.
We really are all terrible. I mean, it's like we're in some kind of weird game of chance. It is game night.
You know, this might be terrible to say, but I'm really glad all those bad things happened to us, so we didn't hurt anybody else.
Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to suffer more than you guys.
You know, in a way, we all need each other. I mean, who knows how many people could have been harmed by our bad decisions if we weren't there to protect each other.
You know, I say that we just forget all of this.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, good. All right, I have some exotic cheeses if you guys want to try. They fell on the floor earlier, but... All right, so we got a little bit off topic, but